This video is sponsored by scdkeys.com. They've got great deals on all kinds of games as well as PC software. Specifically, they've got Windows 10 Pro OEM for just $14, so if you go on their site, type in Windows 10, you'll find it available right now. You can buy it, and you can take advantage of the promo code CM1 to save an additional 10%, so you'll be getting it a little bit cheaper. You can decide on your method of payment, check out, and bam, there you go. Now you've got Windows 10 a little bit cheaper. You can also use the code CM2 on games to save 3%, so take advantage of that as well. Now on to the video. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. Got a couple of things to highlight in this video. A lot of you guys mentioned in my last video that a certain game is having a free weekend. I'm sure most of you guys are aware of that, but I'll give you guys a heads up on that as well. Over on videocards.com, it looks like they've got the MSI GeForce RTX 280 Ti pictured. Looking like a pretty sleek GPU. They've got the box and everything. For now, you should take this as a rumor, but considering we are coming up on the unveiling on Monday, this would be around the time that we're going to see leaks and things like that. Speaking of the RTX 2080, Intel is teasing their own video card. They actually sent out a pretty funny tweet. So I want to take a look at that, and of course by 2020, Intel is supposed to release their own set of dedicated GPUs. Will be interesting to see how that turns out, and we've got another interesting topic on adult game approval on Steam. That looks to be a couple months away still, and you guys know that a lot of games have been removed from Steam recently. Been quite a big to-do, so I thought that would be something interesting to cover as well. Quickly, I want to take a look at the fact that Rainbow Six Siege is having a free weekend again. It seems like they do these free weekends for Siege quite often. The game is discounted as well. I would pick up the standard edition, 60% off for $15.99. The starter edition is not worth the money. Yes, it's a little bit cheaper, but you're locking yourself out of a lot of content, so do not get that. Get the standard edition. There are some higher editions available as well. Alternatively, you should just try the free weekend, see if you like the game, which I'm pretty sure you will. It seems like some people go back and forth on the game. I think the majority of people agree that it's a very good tactical first-person shooter. Some people are not happy with the recent changes made to the game. I haven't played the game recently, but this was a game I was quite invested into, but I've moved away from it at this point, but I'm sure I'll jump back into it at some point. But for those of you guys that have never tried it out, I would give Rainbow Six Siege a look. It's a game well worth your time. Get a couple of friends to jump on the free weekend as well, and you should all jump into the game together because this is a game best played with a couple of people. It's alright if you play solo and you communicate with the people that you find games with, but if you go in with a squad of people, that's where, in my opinion, you're gonna have the best experience. So check that out. Free weekend, again, available for the next 2 days or so, and you will see a little bit of a discount on the game. Moving on from that, videocards.com has got the RTX 2080 Ti pictured, the one from MSI. This GPU features the Type-C virtual link connector and NVLink. And it looks like the RTX 2080 Ti will require dual 8-pin power connectors. So quite a beefy GPU. I expect a GPU like the 2080 Ti to be very, very expensive. This is going to be, you know, your $600 to $800 GPU. A very high-end GPU, but I am very interested to see how this GPU performs, especially at 4K, because as someone that's been gaming more at 4K, even with a GPU like the 1080, you quickly realize that card's limitations. However, if you're gaming at 1080p, obviously the 2080 Ti would be overkill. Even at 1440p, I would say the 2080 Ti, based on the performance that I'm expecting, I think the 2080 Ti is really going to be a 4K GPU. But even then, the leap from 1440p to 4K is just so big that the 2080 Ti will probably fall in the middle ground somewhere, where some games you're ideally going to be playing at 1440p, some games you'll be playing at 4K, you get the idea. And again, NVIDIA will be officially announcing these new GPUs on Mondays, so stay tuned for that, and I will have the full rundown on that on Monday as we head into Gamescom. Speaking of the RTX 2080 launch, Intel is also teasing their own discrete GPU. This was right when that trailer went out. Intel Graphics tweeted out, quote, "We will set our graphics free, hashtag SIGGRAPH 2018. The earlier word and rumor going around was that the Intel GPUs are scheduled to arrive in 2020. Now that's a long time away, so at this point talking about it in 2018 and getting super excited seems a little bit premature, but I am still very excited for the possibility of new Intel GPUs, especially because I think Intel is a brand that if they come out with dedicated GPUs, they would have that fresh coat of paint. And Intel, much like NVIDIA, is seen as that premier brand. I hate to break it to you, but AMD, somebody that's been on YouTube and hears how people talks and hears how the casual consumer talks, AMD just has this stigma attached to it, and I don't know if they'll ever rid that stigma of being a lesser product. Is that true? Absolutely not. But that stigma just exists. Even people I talk to that I consider hardcore PC gamers, they'll scoff at the idea of including AMD hardware in their rig. They're just uneducated, but they're still hardcore PC gamers. Think about that for a a second. And I don't know if AMD can ever rid away that stench that they have attached to them. Intel, however, again, their CPU is always seen as a premier brand, and if they entered the GPU market, if they marketed it the right way, I think they could be a legit competitor for Nvidia. And again, I've always mentioned that competition is the best case scenario for consumers. I see people always have allegiances. Oh, Nvidia is the best, AMD is the best, Intel CPUs all the way. Yo, honestly, every single one of you need to stop caring about that. At the end of the day, all of these components is a means to an end, a means to run your games, run your PC how you want to, and competition just breeds better performance, it breeds better pricing, and it's the best case scenario for gamers. So whenever I see something like that where people are taking Nvidia side, people are taking AMD side, people are taking Intel side, dude, these companies are just trying to profit off of you like you're being a complete sheep. People really gotta stop doing that, but let me get off that tangent. 2020, new GPUs, it was just funny that Intel decided to send out that tweet at this moment. And lastly, I do want to talk about adult game approval on Steam being months away. The developer of Niggly Love Stories was told by somebody directly from Valve and that these filtering tools could take months. If you remember, Valve wants to integrate filtering tools where you can opt in to see these adult games. Otherwise, they wouldn't be promoted as heavily, which I think is fine. You want to make Steam a consumer-friendly platform. I don't see anything wrong with that. You buy your kid a PC and then just crazy adult-oriented games are being promoted. I can see why Valve would be a little wary of that. I know people are like, freedom of speech, consumer rights, all these things, but look at it from Valve's point of view. I can understand, but you also at the same time, if you want to make Steam this complete platform, you do have to add those filtering tools as soon as possible. Somebody directly from Valve said this, quote, "We're right in the middle of building some features into Steam for customers to be able to choose the type of products they see in the store. Your game has content in it that needs features to be completed and shipped first. You'll have to do some additional store page work around describing the content in your game once we have completed those features. We don't have an exact timeline for those features though, so please be patient as we complete the work." Sean added, "Assume months at this point. The work is progressing but not close enough to give a time frame." So there you go with that. If you are waiting to see all of these adult games on Steam, I'm sorry to say that you are going to have to wait a little bit longer. But I think the reasoning is acceptable, and if you do want to play these adult games so badly, you do have other platforms where you can buy them from. That's going to conclude this video, guys. Like I said, free weekend for Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege is available right now. Have a look at that great multiplayer game. Get some friends to download it as well and hop in together. You'll have the best experience that way, and you can enjoy a discount if you want to keep the game. Videocards.com has the MSI RTX 2080 Ti picture, and it's looking like a pretty beefy GPU. I mean, it's a GPU at the end of the day. You can't say much about it, but it's kind of cool to see pictures actually come out. Seems like a long time coming. Intel is also teasing their own GPUs, and those are scheduled to arrive in 2020. That'll be another big spark in the GPU market, so that'll be great to see. And adult game approval on Steam is still months away. Or it could just be months away. Sean is just saying assume months, it could arrive quicker. That's gonna wrap up this one, guys. If you have a request for a future video, leave it in the comments section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.